it's Joss, owner of J Unique's Beauty Bar. And I just want to come on here just to share something that's on my mind. Y'all cannot expect changes to happen in your life if you're not willing to start with yourself first. You cannot expect changes to happen in your life if you're not willing to do the necessary works within yourself, whether that be changing your vocabulary, the way you speak to people, the way you think, even the things that you speak over yourself. God said that you have power within the tongue. So you have to be careful of what you speak over your life and speak, towards other people because not knowing you could be speaking these things over yourself. But what I'm saying is that you cannot expect God to make works in your life or to change things or change your situation if you're not willing to change yourself. It's almost as like you're trying to walk into a new season with an old mindset. Where does it work? You can't pour, what is it? You can't put old wine into a new wine bottle. It's in the Bible. Do your research. But if you want necessary changes to happen in your life, if you really want to see blessings to really, you know, blessings to really overflow within you and within the things that you do, start with yourself first. Start with your heart. Everything that happens with us, it comes from the inside out. So what's in you is what comes out of you. If you are harboring anger, hurt, bitterness, or whatever it may be, that's what's going to simply come out of you. And a lot of times people don't want to deal with stuff like that, people like that, or you may not have those who want to be around you. But you have to be willing to put the work within yourself. When God says faith without works is dead, I don't think that just strictly means working on something or a job per se or whatever it is that you're believing for. I feel like that also means with yourself. If you want to be healed, what steps are you taking for yourself so that you can be healed? If you want to be free or whatever it is that's in your heart or your mind, what steps are you taking? Are you making the necessary changes? Are you changing your circle? Are you taking more time to yourself? Are you reading the word more? Are you taking time to just meditate on God and allow Him to speak to you? What I find is that God speaks to you the most when you're by yourself, when you're in isolation. Isolation is not a bad thing. Isolation is good because in that moment, God is rebuilding you. But you have to allow Him to enter in so that He can rebuild you from the inside out. There's a lot of beautiful people out here, but they're so ugly because of what's on the inside. And you're sitting up here, you're expecting for situations or whatever it is to change or for other people to change when you haven't done the necessary changes within yourself. And to me, half changes or partial changes is still no change. No changes. You can't partially work on yourself and expect to have a different outcome. You're going to get the same outcome every time. So what I want you to do is take the time to really, really work on your inner self in order for you to see real changes. Because that's what people notice the most. If I'm interacting with you, the first thing I'm going to pay attention to is not what you're putting out there, but what's on here, what you're delivering to me. Because that's what people normally see first. What's coming at your mouth or your attitude or your actions, or I say. Anyway, like I was saying, faith without works is dead. So if you want to see necessary changes happen within your life, your career, your family, even with, the decision makings that the choices that you make in everyday life, you have to be willing to change you first. Change your mindset. Change your thoughts. When those old, how can I say it? When those old and evil thoughts come to mind, start speaking against it. Don't come to agreement with whatever that old you is trying to come into the new. You cannot walk into the new season, whatever God is trying to get you to come into, with an old mindset. God is not even going to allow you to do it. because you're going to sabotage it. He don't want you to mess it up. And when I think about it now, I graduated cosmetology school back in 2012. And I couldn't pass the cosmetology test. I failed that test 3 times. Back to back. I gave up on it. 7+ years later, I taught myself cosmetology all over again. By the grace of God, I got registered for this test again. There's no way that was supposed to happen, but I knew that was God. But I thank God that it was, as long as it was, it didn't have to be 7+ years. That was my fault, and I can take accountability of what I did. I was running from my purpose and running from what God was trying to get me to go, because I didn't fully understand it. But I'm grateful that it did happen, because I had no idea that this is the level of entrepreneurship that God was trying to bring me to. I had no idea that I would be changing other women's lives, help uplifting women and help rebuilding their confidence. I didn't think I would be an inspirational speaker or anyone who's pouring into people the way that I do. I never thought my business would be a ministry, which it is. But God has to get rid of the old mindset of me in order to bring me into the new and the full purpose of my calling. So now I understand why it had to be as long as it was for me to get my hair license. I was immature, couldn't sell me none at the time, and mine was all over the place. I was young. God knew what was up. But I just say this to say that that's a prime example of God will not allow you to walk into something with the old mindset, especially if it's something that His favor and His blessing is on. He will not allow you to walk in it. He didn't allow me to walk in it until I had fully was willing to change things about me on the inside in my mind, because in order to operate a business, in order to run a business, I was going to need to have a different mindset, be willing to communicate, be open to communicate, open to talk to people, open to share things with people, open to, to receive and to give. I had to be a listening ear. At that time, couldn't nobody tell me nothing. And that's the wrong mindset. So 2025, change your vocabulary. Change your vocabulary, change your actions, change the way you talk to people, change the way you treat people, change your heart posture. A lot of y'all don't understand. The reason why a lot of y'all blessings are withheld and on hold is because of your heart. Your heart posture is why God hasn't released it. Let it rain in your season. Please, if you don't believe me, try it out and see what God do. Really be intentional about it though. Change your heart posture. Change the way you think, the way you speak, the things that you say. Change the way you treat people. Change your vocabulary as a whole. Watch how God instantly begins to shift things in your life. Can't walk into a new season with an old mindset, baby. It's over with. Anyway, y'all, hope y'all have a good rest of the day. And I'll probably come out here next time and drop something else up. Toodles.